Welcome to this episode of Abundant Living TV. Hi guys, my name is Summer Robinson, drugless practitioner, certified health coach, natural foods gourmet, and CEO and founder of Integrative Wellness. We're here in my kitchen today, and today I'd like to share with you a little bit of how to make healthier eating, shopping, and just all around wellness so much easier. I hear a lot about how organic, natural, non-GMO, clean foods in general are too expensive. And two, that I don't have time to cook from scratch. I'm here to tell you, me neither. I have a severely special needs child, severely disabled child, who doesn't walk, sit, talk, crawl, eats from a feeding tube. She has multiple therapies and doctors. I understand. I really do feel you. I don't have time either. There isn't time through the day. If you're a working mother, a working father, working outside of the home, you're a stay-at-home mom. Sometimes there's just not time to meet all the needs of everyone else and still come into the kitchen and spend hours baking, cooking. It's just not. We just don't have that kind of time these days. So basically, what I want to show you are a few of my favorite products that have made life a little easier for me, have made cooking and, health and wellness in general, but especially cooking and meeting my family's nutritional needs as well as my own, so much easier. I mean, life changed a little each time I found a new product that I loved. I have to say, I don't get paid by any of these companies. This is just something that I love. These are products that I love that I want to share with you. Okay, first off, I'm going to tell you about this little spatula spoon, so a spoonula. Basically, it's by Tovolo, and what I love it for is for any of you that, for you that drink coffee, if you're like me and you don't want to wake your kids up in the morning, if you happen to get up early or you don't want to wake your kids or your spouse or anyone that's living in your home with you up in the morning, it's very quiet, it stirs perfectly. Also, for those special needs moms, for those of you that are trying to get your kids to eat by mouth, this is a great spoon. I mean, Abby, my daughter, loves it. And I've had a lot of hard times getting her to eat. And the spoons that most kids will use, she won't use. So this is great. It's also great if you're doing ACV and honey drinks, because when you get your honey off, it tends to stick to your tablespoon real well. So if you just scrape this, dip it in the ACV first that's in your mug, scrape the honey off of your tablespoon, and it comes off like that. No problem. Beautiful. Love it. I got it at Sur La Table. Very inexpensive. Couple dollars. Well worth it. The next thing I'd like to show you is something I recently came across, and I love it. It's by Joseph, and it's a Chop to Pop Plus. Some of you may already know this. Maybe I'm a little late, but I wanted to share with you that, I've been to culinary school. I learned how to do all that stuff, and yet I still, like everyone else, don't have a lot of time. Resources can be low sometimes in everyone's life. I mean, if you've read my blog, you know a little bit about our history. Everything in our kitchen at one time was rigged, cheap, and pots were rusting. I mean, we've been through it. If you've read our blog, you know. If not, I encourage you to read it and get to know us a little bit better, and then you'll understand why and how we got here. Well, this product is perfect. So you go and you chop your vegetables. Chop them, fruits, whatever you want to do. Get your garlic ready to saute to begin a great recipe. So you're chopping, okay? So then instead of the traditional cookie sheet, cutting board, you don't have to scoop and transfer. So you're over here, you're cooking, you're cutting, you're scooping, and it's falling in between. I mean, I've done it a million times. Scooping, falling. Instead, with this, all you have to do is bend the sides up and you create a funnel effect. So then you just shoot it right into the pot. Perfect. Genius. I mean, some things, they're just so simple that you just never even think about. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I used to put things off into a paper plate and then take the paper plate and do basically the same thing. But hey, 2 in 1, perfect. Genius. Just wanted to share it with you. It might make your life easier. It makes my life a lot easier. The next one is a tea kettle. Simple. They come in lots of different forms. I don't use the microwave for health concerns. So we basically use heat water. We use a tea kettle. We used to only heat water on the stove, which of course takes a lot longer. I mean, super fast. This one holds up to 1.7 liters, so quite a bit. What I do in the morning, because I do my ACV 3 times a day, I do it after breakfast, after lunch, and then right before bed. So what I do is I go and I fill up my water, put about a liter in here, maybe a little more, depends on how many people want to have the ACV in my house. Normally, my husband and myself drink it every day. My kids do occasionally, it really just depends. So I'll get my water, and then I set it down on the counter. And every time I'm ready for my ACV, I plug it in, press this little lever, it heats up in no time, and we're ready to have our ACV and honey. So if you're not doing that and you're heating in the microwave and you feel comfortable with that, that's a personal preference and that's totally fine. But if you're someone who's wanting to maybe lean away from microwave usage and you don't want to spend so much time over the stove as well, this is a perfect option. Any brand will do. You don't have to go out for the big brands. I was at the Sur La Table yesterday, and one of the brands that I love was just absolutely out of my price range. And so don't overextend yourself. There's great options at Kohl's, Walmart, Target. I mean, really anything. Try Big Lots. Honestly, any place, any store will have what you need. My absolute favorite is my Health Master Elite. Pick this big boy up. Bring him a little closer. This is my best friend. Other than my tea kettle, this is my best friend. Every morning, every single member of my family has a smoothie. Every single member. This thing is used all morning, all day, sometimes at night. Really just depends on how we're feeling or what we're craving. This bad boy does so many things, honestly, I can't even name everything. You can cook soup in this thing. This is a Health Master Elite by Montel Williams, and it is an emulsifier. So it emulsifies, so you can do your smoothies, you can do pretty much everything you want to do. We made ice cream in it the other day. Coconut milk, strawberries, pineapple, you name it, you can put it, bananas. We put it in there and it was the most amazing ice cream. And it stays cold. It's not like a food processor where you get it in there and then you have to put it in the freezer to freeze it and then it's hard. So try it, but get yourself one if you don't have one, and if you can, you can purees or you can emulsify soup, whole vegetables, emulsify it. You just keep it going on a certain speed, and it heats. It warms. It doesn't get super hot like the stove's going to, but it warms, and the soup is ready. I mean, it's amazing all this stuff can do. I use it for my daughter's food. I use it for blenderized diets. We use it for smoothies, ice cream, soup, you name it, we use it. You can make nut butters. You can make nut butters in this thing. It's absolutely amazing. Now, it's comparable to a Vitamix. Vitamix is going to be several hundred thousand. That's what it feels like sometimes. Several hundred more. This will range you from 100 to 250. So if you're in the market for a cheaper option, but yet you still want those, many options with the machine, this is by far what I recommend. I mean, I wouldn't steer away from this. They do have, and it is BPA free. The plastic is BPA free, so you don't have to worry about that. So when you're giving your kids or yourself anything, smoothies, blenderized diets, whatever what have you, that you don't have to worry about that. Now puree, I always call them pureers. Food processors are great. My only concern with food processors in the way that it doesn't necessarily make life completely easier. You can still do everything with them, and blenders alike. But with food processors, I mean, I found myself, and I love to cook, love it. But I found myself getting a little bit feeling like, do I really want to make this arugula pesto for lunch, even though it's like liquid gold to me and I'm going to eat it all and love it and it's going to be amazing? But not only that, but I'll have to stand at the sink for a good, 5 minutes. And although maybe it just seems like 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes I could be sitting down and eating before I have to get back to this, or before the kids wake up, or yada, 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 before I go to work, whatever it is. It's not, it's just one more thing to do. With this one, I don't know about other brands, but with this Health Master Elite, you simply put some soap in there, water, stick it back on the base, run it, it cleans it. I mean, it's amazing. You bring it back over to the sink, rinse it out, dry it, you're done. It's not like 700 hours that you're cleaning a big mess at your kitchen and you're saying, oh, this is a lot more work than it would be to just drive through the drive-through. So, really consider what will make things easier for you. We're all different, so what works for me may not work for you, but it's just an idea. It gives you an idea that it doesn't have to be all work. It can be, this is really fun, and bring your kids in, show them a few things in the kitchen, have them help out, have them wash the vegetables, wash the fruit. You may already do that, and if you do that, you are ahead of the game, and you're doing an amazing thing. I mean, the memories that you'll create with them, and the connection to the food, and that's really important. The connection that they'll make with their food is beyond. It gives them a sense of pride when they eat their food. And so if you're showing them how to do these things easily and accessibly, you're already instilling some amazing values in your family, and you'll see changes in your own life. And I mean, honestly, isn't it about happiness? And happiness and ease and accessibility, and that's all we're trying to do here. So if you're one other thing I wanted to tell you. If you happen to be trying to cut down on coffee, one option that I thought was very helpful for me at one point was to use a French press. I had no idea how to use a French press, but at one point I was like super Starbucks fan, and I think that I was probably number one on their fan list, and I still love Starbucks. I just don't drink it as often. But when I was trying to cut down from having like 6 to 10 cups a day and then still going through the drive-thru to get some more, I got a French press, and so you use so much less, and it's so much stronger that you tend to usually only drink about 1 cup. So that's a very good option to consider. Then you're not using as much. You're still getting the strength that you may need. And also, ACV and honey and cinnamon, that really helped me a lot. I use Bragg's brand because it's non-GMO. And because it states that it's with the mother, which means it still has the live ingredients. I was using another brand, and not that the brands are bad or that I really know, honestly. I mean, I've used other brands, and other than the fact that this one's non-GMO and tastes 1,000 times better, I just really would stick with this one. It's a trusted brand, been around for 100 years, 100 plus. I think they're at 101 this year. So it's definitely something to consider when you're going to the store to buy your ACV. If you're considering doing it, think about it. If you're already doing it, it's something to consider. Also, I wanted to point out that if you're looking for raw honey, sometimes it can be hard to find. Sometimes it can be ridiculously, absolutely expensive. I find mine at Walmart. I used to buy mine, and it was like small for $8.49, $8 something. It was more like around $9. But one day I was in a pinch and I needed some, and I ran into Walmart, and lo and behold, local honey. It was local. It's a brand called Mountain Ridge, 100% pure honey and pure raw honey, and they are from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is not too far from me. So I felt like I had found gold at Walmart for $8.49. Look at this big thing for $8.49, and the other I was paying $8 something, close to $9 for this size. So, really look around, check out the places that you already shop. You may be able to find some great buys there. And Kroger is one store that I highly, highly recommend if you have one in your area. Trader Joe's is a gold mine. Whole Foods is great, sometimes a little expensive, but a gold mine as well. Farmers markets. Sometimes I get my raw honey from farmers markets and gold mine again. So, that's honestly what I have for you today. And, um, I want to make your life easier. And I want to keep encouraging you that, we are all human and we're all going to have some days where maybe we don't use any of these. And that's okay. Because sometimes you just need a day to be you, to relax. Maybe have something you haven't allowed yourself to have for a few weeks. Just know that you're doing an amazing job, and I believe that you can do it. And there's nothing stopping you. Nothing. If not today, when? Today is your day. Nothing stopping you. So until I see you again, have a great week.